Good evening. I'll now call the City of Cannon Falls City Council meeting for Tuesday, January the 3rd to order. Roll call.
Councilmember Abady?
Here.
Berg?
Here.
Carpenter?
Here.
Dalton?
Here.
Mattson?
Here.
McCusker?
Yeah.
And Mayor Robinson.
Here. All please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first City Council meeting of 2017. As you all know, we have four newly elected City Council members this evening, and at this time, I will have actually five.
Oh, it's fine.
Yep, five, because
Five.
Morris was re-elected too, so
Right.
five of us have to take the oath of office. So I will have Ron Johnson administer the oath.
All right, I'll go up to the podium, but, you know, in order to get the good picture too, maybe we could have the five people stand next to each other somewhere. I don't know how we want to stage this, but
Ask the
let's
photographer.
ask this photo expert.
Yeah.
Podium.
I've been here before, I don't have to.
You got to go up.
Okay.
You didn't turn.
All right.
That's okay. Good.
I'll follow Mike. You've been here before, Lena? Yeah.
Group. Smile. All right. There we are. You all right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you to, this is an oath of office, and I'm going to have you say aye and state your name, and then I'll talk slowly in short sentences. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. I'm sorry, would you raise your right hand? The Constitution of the State of Minnesota. And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of City Council of the City of Cannon Falls, to which I have been elected, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You wanna drop that off with Leroy?
I lost my pen in the other meeting somehow. Can I use your pen? Sure. Thank you.
All right. These guys get their oath signed. All right, at this time, the chair will take a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
I got a motion by Ken,
Second.
second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to item 6 this evening, public input. Citizens may speak to issues not on the agenda. Before speaking, please give your name and address for the minutes, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to address the council under public input? Seeing there is no one, we will move on to the consent agenda this evening. Items of this area of the agenda may be adopted, or they may be removed and placed on the business area of the agenda for discussion purposes before approving. For the folks at home, I will read the consent agenda. Item A is the just and correct claims for the accounting period ending December the 30th, 2016. Item B are the meeting minutes for the December the 20th City Council meeting. Item C is approving new liquor license for Mill Street Tavern. Item D, approving new liquor license for Cannon River Winery. Item E, approving new liquor license for Cannon River Catering. Item F, Resolution 2251, accepting a monetary grant from CMAC, Southeastern Minnesota Arts Council, for the library. Item G, Resolution 2252, designating the depositories for city funds for fiscal year 2017. Item H, approving pay request number 1 for Trunk Highway 19 First Street Utility Improvements Project. Item I, the backup ambulance pay stipend. Item J, purchase a striker, power load, and stretcher for the ambulance. Item K, 2017 committee appointments. And item L, Resolution 2253, accepting a donation in memory of Owen Hefner. Are there any items anybody wishes to bring down tonight?
I got 3 of them.
Okay.
C, G, and I.
C, G, and I, and I'm going to bring down K.
And also, please, E.
E. So C, E, G, I, and K. So those items will become, under council business, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay, with the exception of items C, E, G, I, and K, Chair will take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Morris, second by Cedar. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. That moves us on to council business. The first item is election of Mayor Pro Tem for 2017. Mayor Pro Tem is elected by the council at the first regular council meeting following the regular election. The Mayor Pro Tem presides over council meetings in the absence of the mayor. The Mayor Pro Tem may vote on all matters before the council, and the Mayor Pro Tem serves until a successor is elected to council, either upon its declaration of vacancy in the office of Mayor Pro Tem or at the first regular council meeting in January following the next regular city election. The Mayor Pro Tem serves as mayor in the event of the mayor's disability or absence from the city, or when a vacancy in the office of mayor is declared by the council. Our Mayor Pro Tem from last year was Morris Madsen, and did a great job for us. And at this time, the chair will take a motion for Mayor Pro Tem for this year.
Make a motion to nominate Morris Madsen for Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to elect Morris as the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any other discussion? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, this time nominations will cease. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I did.
Okay, congratulations, Morris.
Thank you.
Did a good job in my absence last year. All right, that takes us on to item 8B, which is the designation of official newspaper for 2017. And Linnell?
Thank you, Mayor. It is one of the duties of the City Council at the beginning of each year to designate an official city newspaper in which all official city notices are published, and we are going to be doing that this evening.
Okay.
And we have selected the Cannon Falls Beacon. They have done it for us probably forever, but, so they are a local newspaper, and that's who we are recommending.
Okay.
Mayor, I'll abstain from this vote.
Okay. And we have one abstention. Is there any, do I have a recommendation?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Lynn, second by Cedar. Any further discussion?
Well, I just wonder, the Beacon's had it for so long, if we shouldn't change it up a little bit. No, I'm joking.
You can start your own.
Don't all look at me so serious, you're scaring me.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. All right, that will move us on to item 8C, which is approving the new liquor license for Mill Street Tavern.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to put in on that, and it's not just a tavern, it's liquor license in particular, is one thing when I left the council last time, we were trying to take a different policy with problems associated with liquor. And one of them is to not have such a penalty policy all the time, but how can we work with some of the problems associated with liquor. And one of them was that I just wanted to make sure that Ron knew this from before, is that we want to go with the agenda where bars know that they have to post taxi numbers. Bars know that we want to work together. If a person says, I've had too much to drink, can you help me out, get me a ride home? We want the bars to know that if the taxi isn't available and something, then call Jeff, and Jeff isn't going to be there to arrest him, but he's going to talk to it, take care of the problem. So that's all I'm saying with the new liquor license, especially working with the Chemical Health Initiative, is that I want bars to know in town that we're here to work together on this. Not always about penalties and fining people and DWIs. Let's see how we can prevent that stuff. Nowadays, it scares me because people get DWIs. It gets to be very expensive for their families. They make a wrong choice. Not only that, nowadays we have cell phones, and they make goofy choices with cell phones and decide to use them while they're driving and get in car accidents. So I can't think of anything any worse than drinking and using a cell phone both and going out driving. So we just want bars to know we got to educate people. We can't keep going down this road like this isn't happening. Thank you.
Thanks.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Leroy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Moves us on to, which will be item 8D, will be the approving the new liquor license for Cannon River Catering.
I just had a quick question on this. It's the catering company and not Nick's Diner, correct? So how are they planning on using it, I guess?
The liquor application is for Nick's Diner.
Okay.
The applicants would be Cannon River
Catering LLC.
Catering and the Wegmans.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
so it is actually for the
The premise license would be Nick's
Nick's.
Diner.
Okay. And do we still have, my other question, I have no problem with, but my other question is, do we still have a limited number of liquor licenses that we issue within the city limits? We used to, I'm not sure if we
Sure.
still do that.
As long as I've been here, the code has no limitations
Okay.
on number of licenses, but also our liquor licenses can only be held with a restaurant combination, so you can't have just a bar that
Right.
serves no food or anything. So all of our liquor licenses are affiliated somehow with a restaurant
Okay.
in one way or another per our code.
Okay. That was my only question. I wasn't sure what, the way it was written, what was actually going to be held at. So I move to approve.
Okay, a motion by Lynn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Cedar to approve the liquor license for Cannon River Catering. Any further discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved. That moves us on to item 8E, which will be the Resolution 2252 designating the depositories for city funds for fiscal year 2017.
Yeah, the question I had for you on that, Ron, was, we got the local banks we work with, but why is Morgan Stanley and RBC in there too?
Leroy, if you don't mind, I'll answer that. We work with them on long-term investments. The local banks do our short-term investments, and then the others do our long-term investments. And we put money out there when they can beat the local banks.
And then what was that on the end there too, where, I don't know why, Ron would want that responsibility, but there's something on the end of there about, wherever the staff or management feels they should go. Why would we just approve that instead of, it'd have to be brought up to the council first?
That would allow us some flexibility if an investment opportunity arose with an organization that was not listed, that maybe would offer us some better financial interest rates than what we're seeing at other locations. That's not uncommon in most investment policies to have that language in there.
Yeah, I guess, I'm fine with that. I don't like the end part. To me, that should be brought up to the council if some other decision is gonna be made, whether it's another 0.5% money or something. I understand you're out there looking. But I just don't like the idea of, selected by the city administrator, finance director, or, to me, the council should be making that decision.
So Ron, how often does that happen? Or Linnell?
We've never done that.
And we would have to approve it every year, no matter what, like we're doing right now.
Right.
So,
And then, I mean, the other one is by set requirements, and there are set requirements on that, aren't there?
Pardon me?
Or the finance director following set requirements?
Yeah,
That's the
we
key
have an
words there.
investment policy that we have to follow. So regardless of what organization or investment firm we use, there are certain requirements that are set by state statute that we are required to follow.
The only thing is, Linnell, is I remember when I was on the council last time and Aaron came, the new administrator, and over the next 2 years, he'd come to a meeting and say, wow, I was going through everything, and there's $250,000 out here that was set into another fund that we didn't know about. And then another 6 months would go by, and he'd say, we have this that we found and we didn't know about. And that's the part that scares me about this end part.
Okay, if I can address that as well. That is not money that was invested in any bank or any other organization. That's through fund accounting, and we knew about it. I knew about it. He was new on staff and was made aware of it. So it's not money that was ever lost. It was not
Yeah, it
money that
wasn't
was
lost.
ever, no, but we knew about that money all along. It was just that he chose to use those funds in a different format than what previous administrators had done. That money that you're talking about in those different funds is totally different than what we're talking about tonight. That money that you're referring to it's in our fund accounting. So when he said this money was found, it was not in any account or anything like that. It was on the books, just in a
Okay.
separate fund.
Well, my thing would be is just so staff knows whatever the bulk of we can do locally and take care of and do business in our own town, I want to do that,
And that's been our practice.
right?
Mr. Mayor, can I make a motion to accept, or to approve the designation of depositories for 2017?
Yep, I got a motion
Second.
and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
And passes 5-1. That moves us on to item 8F, which will be the backup ambulance stipend.
Oh, that part there, Robbie,
Whatever line it says.
I read that over, and I realized my wife keeps reminding me of this Irishman looks at things different. For one one thing I had to ask Tim is, he called that a stipend. And I haven't heard that since like 40 years ago when I lived in White Rock. So I was wondering if this isn't some kind of price adjustment or something that we're doing for the health. Stipend really bothered me for some reason. But anyway, my point was that all I wanted to make was, if we have people that are on emergency, in case we get in a bind and we can't get the call done and we need to call somebody in right away for help, the cost of daycare and stuff and everything that it costs today, when I seen the $15, I felt like that was kind of an insult, that we don't care about our employees or care about the people that go the extra mile. And to me, it should be a minimum of $25. So that was my only beef with the thing. I don't understand that somebody's going to have daycare on hand because they might get called out that night, and we're going to give them an extra $15 for going through that trouble. The other thing is that this is a high-pressure job, a lot of emotions involved in it, and I think more of a emergency cost adjustment would be more like $25 to me is even an insult, but I would like the amount to go up.
Jim, I have a question. This is not a mandatory thing for your ambulance crew. Am I correct? This is something that a page is going to go off, the ambulance is going to be on a transfer. People that are available are then going to hit a button, and they're going to say, yes, I can make the next call should one come up.
That is correct.
So if you have a daycare issue, you don't hit the button, and then you don't need to worry about the next call.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Thank you.
It's just and when we get, because it came to the Personnel Committee, and we talked about it, and with them doing a transfer, which we do a lot of out of here with Mayo, if our EMTs are on that other call, we need somebody in here, and that was the reason for it, because that way we could get, in the past, they've come in without any other stipend, just on the regular pay. So this is a way to enhance people responding to those calls and coming in, Leroy. So, I mean, it wasn't just a stipend, but it's another way to get people to actually come in to back up our ambulances when needed. And that's what it was for.
Jim, if we start at 15 and it doesn't work, then we may have to go to 20, or we may have to go to 25, correct?
Correct, and we'll have to obviously pursue other avenues if that doesn't work. Currently, the only people that receive any type of pay is the people on the primary ambulance. So the people right now that actually stick around town and cover that backup ambulance don't get anything. They're just doing it out of the benefit of the community. And we discussed as a department as a whole, because we're having a hard time staffing the backup ambulance, especially now. As of last year, we closed out with 132 backup calls, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you think about that, that's a lot for an employee to leave their employer maybe throughout the day just to come and help the city and keep it a great place to live. And so we discussed multiple options that we brainstormed, and this was the best one felt by the group. And so that's why I presented it to the Personnel Committee.
The other thing for the council to think about is, it's not like we're adding a $15 expense to the city. Most of our ambulance stuff is done in the budget and is billed out and is paid back. So I would make a motion that we move it to $25, and a year from now, if you don't like it, vote to put it back to 15. But to me, it sends out a statement that we care about people that are willing to go the extra mile to help. And I'd just like to make a motion that it be put at $25.
Okay, I've got, we had the motion for approving the 15, so we got to look at that
Right.
first before we can do the 25. So,
I think
Well,
Jim wanted to say something.
Yeah, he did.
My only thought is the $15 was budgeted. So with moving it to $25, we're going to be about $5,300 projectedly over budget. Granted, I realize we can, not necessarily buy something somewhere else, but that budget of the $15 was what we budgeted. So somewhere we have to give and take, and I mean, if you guys approve the $25, I know my staff will probably be very happy. I just need to figure out where I'm going to cut, or we're going to have to amend the budget to accommodate the extra money.
And the extra $10 would amount to how much, you think?
$8,300.
For the year?
That'd be in addition to. So if you move it to $25, that's a total cost of $18,800 if we do the same amount of transfers as we did last year.
What's your numbers? How much have they increased incrementally over the last few years?
I just closed that report. It's
No, you do that. That's why I asked.
The other thing that we did talk about, whether or not this would be compensable, whether it could appear on someone's ambulance bill and be billed out, and then the city could somehow recapture that. And we figure that, given that insurance companies and Medicare pay what they think their services are worth, they are unlikely to say, oh, sure, your stipend at whatever level you as a city council will for sure reimburse you for that. So we can't count on being able to recoup any amounts paid out as stipends from insurance or private pay or ambulance bills.
And Tim, correct me, but wasn't that also the $15 was really to help cover the cost of driving in, from, outside the area if needed and that type of stuff as well, correct?
That's correct.
So,
Because currently, when they drive back to their community, they get nothing, so.
right. So it was just more of an incentive type of thing to help people to respond.
Mr. Mayor, did you say you had a motion for a $15 increase?
Well, we have I'm requesting a motion for the 15, and then we can, after we address that, then we'll address
I'll
the
make
20.
that motion.
We have a motion by Mike to approve the $15 stipend. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, a motion by Mike and a second by Ken. Is there any other discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay, the motion to go to at $15 was approved.
And we just need to know that if for some reason this is not working, and you're still stuck with no backup people, that we'll revisit this if and when need be.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Good.
All right. That moves us on to item 8G, which is 2017 committee appointments. I brought this down. I would like to make one change. I had someone call that specifically asked to be on the Chemical Health Council. So with that, Leroy is number 1 on there, and Mike Dalton will be number 2. I'll be the second on the Chemical Health Council. Other than that, Chair will take a motion to approve the committee assignments for 2017.
So
So moved.
Oh, everybody at all once.
Okay, I got one by Cedar. And who was the other one?
Ken.
Ken? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Mayor, I noticed that for the Police Commission, we did not have a chair. Did you want to name a chair?
Oh, the commission can determine that when they have the first meeting.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, that moves us on to reports.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Greg?
Just want to say we're a couple days away from Mother Nature finally working with us on the ice rink. We should have an ice rink established within the next couple days. We had it and we lost it, and so 2 more days we should be in good shape.
Tim?
Just to let you know, we did have another record year. We ran 1,185 calls. That's about a 10% increase over last year, and I have to truly thank the men and women of the ambulance service for helping us out during that growth. We've been quite busy, and transfers were up about 15% this year from last year. So.
Thanks.
Good job.
You guys do a good job, and the community appreciates the job that you guys do, so thanks for being there. Chief?
First, I'd like to just welcome the newly elected council members. Look forward to serving and working with you during your term. From the police department, we're in 2017. 2016 ended very quietly. It was a good weekend for us. No real activity. The nice thing is everybody plans ahead for any partying. They make arrangements, whether it's sober ride or a taxi. I would just ask that they continue that during 2017. We want people to enjoy themselves and have a good time. We just don't want to have people drinking and driving and, affecting the highways.
I have 2 items. One is the cable franchise. I believe we will have an agreement at the February 7th meeting with Hiawatha Broadband. The other item that was on one of our agendas late in 16 was the Econo Foods or To Be Family Fare drive-through, pharmacy drive-through. That there was a 60-day extension on that, and they are still working on their traffic plan for that particular drive-through facility. So I'd expect in the next week to 10 days they should be getting back to us on what their proposal is.
Okay.
That's all I
So
have.
I'm curious, it's already built.
The-
How is
the-
their traffic plan going to change from what we've seen already?
Well, it's a matter of the pharmacy drive-through, and the building permit was approved for everything, but, I mean, they can build that, they can't use it until there is approval.
So hopefully they come up with a plan that we like. If not, we'll have to go back to the drawing board.
I might have.
Linnell? Mike?
No.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Nothing?
Leroy?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, he opened his book.
Sorry, I got a few things. First of all, I want to thank the citizens in the Cannon Falls that voted for me, and I hope I can live up to half your expectations. I also do want citizens and the staff to know that I have an open phone and an open door to any problems or concerns with the city, that they should get a hold of me if I need to know something. I also want to thank the past council members for their services to the city. It's not an easy job up here. It's something you try to do your best, but not everybody agrees with you, and I appreciate their services over the years, especially like Merlis, been here a long time, and just wanted to thank them. I would also like to say a special thank you to Justin, our librarian that left. I always thought he did a heck of a job for us. I remember one time talking to him a few years back and said the one thing that I liked about him was that I never heard anything from him. And I said, I like when that happens because that must mean you're doing a good job. And he said he promised me to try to fly under the radar from then on. And I think he did a heck of a job for us. I would like to also say a special thanks to the Owen Hefner family for their donation tonight. I met them the first time back in the 70s. Just wonderful people, and I'm so appreciative that people give for all our different fire department and ambulance. And I don't care what amount of money is, that's not important. I just feel grateful when these people have the kindness in their heart to give to that kind of stuff. And the other thing is, for Ron and Linnell, if you can keep me posted on the police commission meetings and the chemical health meetings. Appreciate that. That's it.
Thanks, Leroy. Ken? Nothing.
There's just one thing, there's been 2 conversations and everybody's saying about taxis and that. I believe we don't have a taxi now in Cannon.
Right.
That's correct.
I'm concerned about that too,
Yeah.
Morris.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's one thing, when we heard about it, it's going to be something that maybe we can make some phone calls to some established taxi companies in the area that may be willing to serve Cannon Falls. It's going to be
Is there any chance of getting one of them, what do they call it, Uber or something?
Well,
Ubers?
Those are private, those are just private people who sign
I
up
know.
with
Yeah.
the service. So of course there's a chance. There probably are Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, and people who have those apps on their phones, these rascal kids. They'll be able to find those rides, I imagine.
So I mean, has anybody ever called one of them? I don't know. I'm not a computer person. Has anybody called one of them in Cannon Falls and got a response?
Well, Cannon, from what they tell me, Cannon Falls is too small, so I think we ought to start our own and give it a different name. But,
Let me know how it works for you.
Well, the primary people that use it are elderly.
yeah, and that's who uses ours, are the elderly, and,
The elderly, people that, the kids come home from the holidays and go to the bar and have too many drinks and need a ride
That's a
home.
big
Yep.
chunk of it,
That's
yeah.
where they were such a great asset to our town.
I would
yep.
say.
Yeah, they were.
And something that we'll have to work on going forward over the next few months to see if we can get one by the spring. I mean, it's just, you know, we can't help when businesses close, but, I mean, we talked to Adam, and it just got to a point where it got to be too much for them, so.
And maybe the chemical health initiative, we can look into, and through the police, some kind of volunteer thing on this too. If there be willing, people willing to volunteer for something like that.
Yeah, certainly having the taxi was beneficial for, you know, the people that didn't want to drink and drive. But that was only a small part of what the service that it provided to our community. I know I've had some conversations with the mayor and with Dave, and we're all concerned about trying to find something to fill that gap.
Right.
And I would, you know, hope that we'll be successful in the months to
Appreciate
come.
your concerns on that, guys.
Yep, I mean, okay. Well, I just want to say welcome to the new council. We got a lot of work to do over the next year. A lot of things happening in town, so get yourself, you know, involved with your committees and stuff. And if you hear of any information or hear of anything from concerned citizens, you know, bring it up. Let's get their questions and concerns taken care of, and let's work together to keep Cannon Falls the great city it is, and Happy New Year to everybody. This time, the mayor take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Lynn, second by Ken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?